Good morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Tuesday, October 1st. Satellite imagery, clear skies for the most part. We do have some high clouds pushing in from the north, some smoke as well. Looking at the impact map, no significant impacts today, albeit warm and dry in most areas, but winds will be an impact tomorrow, 25 to 35 miles per hour with low humidity across these areas in orange across the central Idaho mountains and especially into western Wyoming and parts of the northern Wasatch. Warm and dry again on Thursday. No precip or lightning for our immediate area. Initial attack overall fairly light and bone dry all areas. No precipitation, near 0% of normal weekly. We're starting to see things on the drought monitor now. Moderate drought covering much of Idaho and also much of southern Nevada, southwest Utah, and the Arizona Strip, sneaking into parts of northern Nevada. So things definitely drying out. This is an experimental 4-week forecast of the flash drought with very high probabilities and values up in where you see the areas in the dark red. Also seeing more red on the ERC point map, seeing 90th to even 97th percentiles in parts of Wyoming, parts of Utah, down into parts of Nevada, and even in some stations in the Sierra Front, other stations in the kind of the 70th to 80th percentile. Most values are climbing as they are drying. 100-hour fuel is also very dry. This gold area, which now covers just about the entire area, mid to upper single digits. These are normal mid to late summer numbers. We've dried out, and looking at some of the fuel charts themselves, up on the salmon chalice, you can see the gray line is the normal ERC value. The blue line ends here. The green is the forecast over the next 7 days. We're already not too far off from our late to midsummer normals, and we're expected to climb towards record levels for this time of year. And if you draw a straight line, that's near the normal late July levels. Also, we're noticing the same thing, western Wyoming even more so. We're already up at late summer normals. If you draw a straight line to where the gray line meets, definitely well above the current normal and at record levels right now. And similar story further south in the Uinta Basin up here, also well above their early to midsummer normals. Down in the Spring Mountains, same story, not just well above normal, but if you draw a straight line, above their average summer peak. So just a sign of what's been going on, and that dry air mass continues. Pacific high pressure building in. You can see more of our PSAs have dried out into the brown category. You see the low humidities, single digits down south, even pushing northwards, low to mid-teens most other areas. Light to locally moderate breezes, some locally heavier breezes up in some of the central Idaho mountains and into parts of western Wyoming again. The big concern tomorrow, cold front comes through. You see these strong upper level winds. These are 50 knots, 40 knots at the ridgetop levels. We have high risk for parts of the central Idaho mountains, and especially concerned about western Wyoming. Also concerned for parts of the Wasatch. We see those winds here, the orange gusts to 30. The purples are gusts upper 30s to low 40s. As you go into Wyoming, you see the low humidities again in many areas. High pressure builds back in, warm and dry. On Thursday, winds diminish a little bit, still a little bit locally breezy in the northern Wasatch. The humidity's again quite dry. No precipitation next 3 days, and same story on Friday, except another front coming through. This time winds, instead of northwest, they're more southwest winds, and again 50 knots, 40 knots. Continued high risk potential for winds and low humidity, central Idaho mountains and parts of western Wyoming. High pressure then builds in with warm, dry conditions continuing for the foreseeable future. No precip next 7 days. In the 8 to 14 day, no significant change in that pattern. A much stronger than normal warmth signal and also a drier than normal signal. This is taking us through the middle of October. Concludes our briefing. Have a great day.